Welcome. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Namaste. I'm here today to do live readings and to share with you some readings to expand our individual awareness around where love may creates couples and love and togetherness when some of us are not with others and we are experiencing aloneness of one sort or another. And so I encourage you to look at the description box below and just to kind of tune into these three questions that I'm posing. At the up at the top where the heart, it says, "This Valentine's Day, how can you experience the frequency of love in your environment, in your relationships, other than perhaps with a partner, and most importantly with yourself?" And so if you are interested in having three cards drawn, then I can draw them for trying to understand each of these aspects. And then a little further down, it says the frequency of love. The first card, how can I raise the frequency in my environment? And then, secondly, how can I raise the frequency, but also the compassion, the idea of gratitude and deeper understanding with my relationship with, and then you fill in the blank. Like, is this with your mom? Is this with a daughter or perhaps a neighbor that you had a confrontation with? And then thirdly, hi Ray. And then thirdly, what about yourself? What does my self need to feel more content at this time? All right. So, and of course, if you have a specific question, I'm happy to answer that as well too. But I want to offer this up. This is a really lovely frequency. And so today I am going to start with a reading for the collective, and then Ray, you will be first in the queue. Okay. I am on earlier today, 30 minutes earlier than I usually am, and my intention is to stay on for 2 hours. So I will be here for all of you. This is a reading for the collective on the 14th day of February 2023, contemplating the frequency of love in all aspects of our life. Welcome, Donna. Mr. Hallmark and Mr. Whitman's favorite day. Yes, yes, indeed. I'm going to use the Shadowscapes tarot for this collective reading. Hello, Elena. All right. Ooh, just looking at the masks and there's a dragon mask as well too. So the first card is the devil, and I will zoom in a little bit more because I know there's a lot of details in these cards. It's as far as I can zoom in here. And then the Page of Swords. This Page of Swords is so chilled, so chilled. And then Four of Wands. Okay. All right, so I'm going to focus on the three questions that I have down below, and there are the three aspects of the frequency of love, and then I will tie this all together. And this is a reading for the collective on this day. So, your environment. So, what does that mean? That means in your home, in in your global environment. Authenticity, regardless of what is expected. Uh, this is not a time of supposed tos and um, and shoulds and so forth. And we can really, we can pick apart the whole notion of the commercial aspect of Valentine's Day, but I don't really wanna do this. You can know that, what that is. But the devil sitting here for raising the frequency of your environment, I want you to be really aware of the masks that you wear and the things that one pretends to do because it's what's expected of them, or they do it because they are tremendously uncomfortable with their authentic selves. And there's so much suppression that is experienced on days such as today. So instead of choosing a way to suppress and hide from the feelings of love, what can you do to shed that blanket? And I think this is really, really important. So what would it look like if you didn't drink a whole bottle of wine tonight? What would it look like if you went for a walk in the forest instead of going to the shopping mall and buying a gift for your loved one, Like, the devil is a really interesting card to be sitting here. And what's most, um, intriguing me in this card is, the dragon is a very magical, magical being, and, oh, there's just so much gorgeousness in this card. Hopefully it may not focus because 'cause I'm zoomed in. There you go. I'm zoomed in all the way. There's a there's an aspect of yourself that wants to emerge, that wants to be seen, and so create an environment where you feel comfortable in this, and know that it is your time to do so. The second question asks us about raising the frequency in relationship, and the thing that really struck me when I picked up this card was how laid back the Page of Swords is. It almost reminds me of, um, some Queen of Swords cards where they are they are standing, sometimes they're on their throne, and there's so much confidence here, so even this youthful energy is aware of their voice, the power of their voice, the, there's no inhibition here at all. There's a comfort, and so we have this really interesting dynamic between what's going on in the Devil card and the Page of Swords. And I wanna invite you in relationship to go back to an earlier version of yourself. The pages always want us to go back and to think about our authenticity at a younger time where perhaps we did have our voice. And this might take you all the way back, a long, long ways back, because this suppression may have been accumulated, a lifetime of accumulated suppression. And so in your relationship, Spirit is asking you to find your voice and to know that it is okay and it can be gentle. Your authenticity can be gentle. It doesn't have to be harsh. It's very intuitive as well too. And so the frequency of love is about connecting to your authenticity. The frequency of love is about shedding and letting go and loving yourself enough to find that voice, to find that authentic center within yourself. And then in the third position, what does myself need at this time to feel more content? The piece of this card that's striking me is the horn that is piercing the sun. This feels very energetic. It feels like and this reminds me, so this morning, um, This morning, I was out for a walk with Amber, and I actually paused on a road, middle of a residential neighborhood, and I was looking out over the Salish Sea and the sun. I just stood there, closed my eyes, and I saw the sun. You know how when you do that and all those little I don't know what it is, what you see behind your closed eyes when you're staring at the sun. It was just so beautiful because we haven't had a lot of sun lately. And I'm just feeling the energy of this card, and your inner self wants to experience the frequency of that which lights you up. Your body wants to be warmed. So this could be anything from a brisk walk to, getting out into the sun if the sun is shining where you are, to something that warms you and feels like it stimulates your life force. Your life force wants to be energized. So when I'm thinking about all of these cards together, this is doing what you really want to do, doing what you really want to do, doing what energizes you. Okay. So the frequency of love is always about loving yourself first and foremost, and understanding that you are the most important person in your life. And if you love yourself, then that energy is gonna take care of everything else. But these are some really powerful cards to sit with, and I think very, very appropriate for this day. So thank you. I wanna say hi to everyone that's, coming in. Lots of familiar faces. Mm, Elena, I believe I said hello to you, and, Joan, welcome back. Lydiane, much love to you as well too. Um, Aurora, yes, hello, of course, we'll get to you. Aloha, Jonathan and Clavis, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Kristen Louise, welcome to you. Hannah, hello. Namaste. Let's just highlight your comment here. Harshness can be a mask instead of showing vulnerability. That's true. That is so true. So, yeah, people use words as a layer of protection. Okay. Looks like Donna's looking after, Lydia. That's awesome. Okay. All right. So we are going to start today. I'm just going to get YouTube open with Raya. Is it Raya or is it Ray? I want to apologize if I'm not using the correct pronunciation. All right. Let's keep my throat warm. It's great that you're here, Kristen. Haven't seen you in a live for a while. I have also Mermaid Tarot. I feel like that's a great deck for today. I pulled out Super Lunaris as well too. Mara Loon is on my table, but I'm not going to read with it today. I'm going to do a reflections on Mara Loon tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific. I want to look at it a little more carefully before I read with it. Ria, Ria. Okay, Ria. This is a reading for Ria on the 14th day of February, 2023. Thought about using We Moon today too. That would also work here. All right, that's a nice haircut from you. Environment, Queen of Cups. So the first card position is about raising the frequency of the environment, and I feel like this is for you. This is about um, owning two things: owning your femininity. So, what does that mean? That could be anything, really, whatever you love to do. I'm just thinking of the water and the bath and giving yourself permission to have an hour-long bath, that sort of thing. Owning your femininity, allowing your perhaps you are expected to wear, a suit to work every day. Well, you can make that a little more feminine. There's something about really embracing that. This is the queen of water. This is the water of water. And so giving yourself the gift of femininity in a way perhaps you have now we can also add the layer of the collective reading here too. Perhaps this is something that you have restricted. So this feels really important. The environment of flow, the environment of letting go, the environment of this would speak to going to a yoga class tonight, going to and nourishing yourself and the flow of a gentle yin yoga class, taking good care of this. Now, we're not just talking about on this day, but just your general environment of inviting flow. Energy wants to move. This is the energy of opening the windows and rearranging the furniture and clearing out the house and spring cleaning as well too, with the intention of allowing flow into your life. So this is a few different ways to enhance the environment. By enhancing the environment, the frequency of self-care and self-love, of course, is also raised and elevated here. Okay. I also have the tech deck, and I just decided to use this one because it's a check. And so I think it's easier for everyone to see the English titles on the cards. This is the Nine of Swords, and this is asking about relationship. Relationship. Um, in this card, there is an awareness of the light. There is an awareness of the light. There is um, perhaps a fear of moving towards the light. What I'm picking up on here is that in the relationship that you're bringing to mind, we have been in this place for so long, and the nines and the tens in tarot are coming to a place of ending, of shifting energy, of change. And when we're looking at swords and relationship, this is about voice and communication and also the higher frequencies of spirituality. And so I'm also moving towards the final card of the suit, which is very much about trust and surrender and letting go. So I want to encourage you to allow this relationship to move to a higher frequency and to not be afraid of letting this relationship move to a frequency. And then look at the kind of the message between what was coming up in your environment. So you wanna allow flow, you wanna allow movement. I'm being reminded of a reading I did, oh, this was ages ago, and I remember this woman talking about her husband who always sat in his recliner in the corner of the room and, it just never seemed to move out of that and didn't know what to do and how to get the relationship going. And I said, "Well, clear all the junk out around his chair. Um, dust, tidy up, and make space around the chair. open the windows and maybe move the chair a few degrees. Like, you gotta start to let things flow. The potential for shifting the frequency, in whatever you are bringing to mind is really, really close. So be be aware that you're on the edge of something here, okay? Now, personally, in shifting the frequency of self, there's so much magic in the Suit of Pentacles. It's just I got a lot of power coming into my throat here, and I'm being drawn to the pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, who is riding a dragon of swords. The dragon is also in the shape of a circle, and there's these strings that are kind of bringing everything together here, and I'm just what is this? This is your self-care, this is your self-love, this is the nourishing of yourself, honoring of self, the sense of, I wanna say, coming full circle. There's not a scattered energy here. I feel like this is a coming home, this is a returning energy. This is acknowledging this could also speak to very much to the idea of, uh, sorry, about nines and tens and completions and coming full cycle. Um, and then I can't help but think about the idea of the patience and awareness and the but it's interesting. Look at the way that this knight is riding this dragon. It almost appears as if they could fall off. But the dragon's not moving. The dragon is stationary. I think your one key word here in raising the frequency of love is to allow energy to move, to allow the flow of energy in all aspects of your life, your environment, your physical body, your heart. Movement can play a tremendous part in that. So this is not a time for standing back and being quiet and being still. This is a time to engage your voice, to participate, to really embrace the energy of movement. Mm, okay. Thank you, Rhea. Welcome to everybody else that's strolling in here. Hello to Mira and Elaine from New Zealand. Welcome. Oh, you're very welcome, Elaine. Thank you. Mega, hello. I saw there was a couple other people that popped in. Aurora is next. Okay. Mm, let me scroll on down to okay. I'm just looking for your question, Aurora, and then I will shuffle some cards for you. Mm, may I ask a question? Okay. You're welcome, Rhea. All right, I'm just going to pause and see if I can find Aurora's question because I don't see her question. So, Megha, also please post your question once. Yeah, I don't see Aurora's question. Donna, do you see Aurora's question? Aurora, are you here? Mm, all right, I'm just going to shuffle while I'm waiting to hear back on that. And if anybody else sees Aurora's question, please post it in the chat, copy and paste it into the chat. Thank you. Otherwise, Donna will go on to the next person. Okay, so who's next, Donna? Okay. So, Aurora, I will come back to you. Just make sure you post your question. Okay. All right. Jigyasa. All right. Let's hold light and love for Jigyasa and Deepak as we unpack this question for her. Looking at the energy of the relationship with Jigyasa and Deepak. All right. So the most important information will come through in the first card, and then we'll look to the second and third card for clarifying information. Music and Mermaid Tarot by Jane Darcy. Okay. I think you're both feeling as if you are being left out in the cold. So he may very feel alone as well too. Now, with the fives, we need to remember that this very much is a card of being lost in the wilderness, and you both may be on different paths and different trajectories. And so the reason for the breakup, the reason for the separation, there may be a bigger picture here, something that's very important to your soul's growth, something that's really important to you as a young woman finding yourself and finding who you truly are, what you want from a relationship. And with this combination of cards, I feel that indeed this is a time for you to get really clear about what it is that you what it is that you stand for. What is it that you want long term in a relationship? Not just right now as a young woman in a relationship, but long term. What do you want? How do you wanna grow in the relationship? Do you it's so important, and I feel like there's a lack of clarity here. And perhaps maybe Deepak isn't the one who is your partner because he cannot support you long term in your power, in your womanhood, in your wanting to grow as a human. So what I'm saying here is that this is a time for you individually to understand yourself at a deeper level, to know who you are as a woman, as a to understand yourself and what you are growing into. And it could very well be that down the road, the 2 of you meet up again, but when a 5 shows up at the beginning of a reading, it's not a card of peace, contentment, and coming together. It's a card of doing the work. So I would take some time to do something for yourself, to get to know who you are so that you can be a stronger and a better person as a wife and a mother, okay? Thank you. Mm. All right, next up is Kristen Louise. Um, Kristen, would you like mermaid or shadowscapes or super Lunaris? Let me know. Mm, I just need to shuffle super Lunaris, have that one ready too. All right. Let's all hold space for Kristen and her husband. This is a reading for Kristen Louise on the 14th day of February 2023, inviting a raising of the frequency of love in all aspects of life. The first card looking into environment, the second into relationship, the third into self. For those of you that were here at the beginning, there are descriptors below if you want to do this reading for yourself as well. As always, we ask these messages be in the highest for the greatest good and that no harm be done. So be it. Hmm. I do love these card backs. All right, so we're starting with the wheel, environment, Empress, relationship, self, Page of Cups. Okay. So, environment with the wheel. In what way have you been holding back or not embracing? Again, we have sometimes these messages feel repetitive, but this feels very connected to the previous reading where we had the Queen of Cups sitting here. We want to invite flow. We want to be in harmony with the change of the seasons. We want to be in harmony with the life cycles, life and death cycles. We want to really honor life as it flows and changes. So this is a very powerful card. Sitting here, you have 2 majors, Kristen, so I think this is a potent day to be asking these cards of change. 3 also with the Empress, right? The number of growth and expansion and development. So these 2 majors seem to be wanting you to, um, I just feel the movement in your life, the movement of energy, but this is very intentional. Um, on a mundane level, your environment could be enhanced by What would be a good example? Like the external seasons that you see in the environment outside of you, honoring those in a way, just changes in the garden and so forth, and being really in touch with that. I'm not I'm sorry, I don't recall what stage your mother is at right now, but this also feels important to this reading. So your mother seems to be coming her energy seems to be coming in here and moving through that change and knowing that moving through the flow of a new life, of a new cycle, standing in your own power and your own strength, taking on the role of the matriarch is being gifted to you, it's being handed to you, and that feels important to say aloud here, that I am and I am capable of becoming the matriarch of my family, because that's a very significant change. She is stable-ish, but she is very fearful of death and sad about her illness. So perhaps part of your role is to, if she doesn't want to talk about it, to energetically aid in that flow of energy, right? This can be everything from clearing the room to different chanting prayers or other spiritual techniques that you have, um, changing the direction of the bed a little bit if that's possible, different things we can do to create flow of energy. So I'm feeling you really embracing this strong feminine archetype. Now, this has to do with relationship. You asked about your relationship with your husband. So perhaps this is about you rising up and claiming a throne. Like, this makes me smile because I think about all the past life work that you do, and like Josephine stuff and all of that. You rising up, claiming the throne of the divine feminine, uh, honoring this. It's like I can see you with 2, I don't know if they're walking sticks or ski poles or what they are, but it's like, you're standing there, um, tall and proud and strong. All of a sudden, there's this freedom that opens for you. And perhaps as you claim this strength, as you claim this power, it might also help your mother to let go. Maybe she is also unspoken with, maybe she hasn't articulated this, but maybe she's afraid that or she's aware of your fear of claiming this throne. So this is kind of beautiful. And then with the self bit and this Page of Cups, there's so much beauty and innocence in this card and freedom and joy and love and playfulness, and I hear giggling and lightness. So let life be light. There's a strong feminine energy to this card, to this reading, and yes, this is a fire card. This it's a very strong, powerful card, and both of these, the 2nd and 3rd card, feel very feminine and very integrated in that energy. Yeah, and as a couple too, in claiming that power and defining that power, it also initiates a change in the relationship. And this reading could be very confirming of how that will shift the frequency of your relationship. The more you claim your power, the higher the vibration of your relationship with your husband will be. And then look to the girl on the right? And she's also, um, mm, wonder. I think wonder is a wonderful word to have here. To be in wonder of the magic of life and not expecting anything from these changes, but it's like that, smile when something happens and it's like, "Wow, this really works." That's what I feel in this card, that the more that you lean into this work that you are doing, the more you'll begin to understand and benefit this huge shift. Yeah. So take this as confirmation that you are doing exactly as you are meant to be doing, and perhaps it will fuel your commitment to this work even more. Okay. Thank you, Kristen. Okay, Donna, I'm just gonna go to Panchan, okay? And then if the other person that didn't post a question comes back, um, then okay? Bye, Panchan. Alright. And I'm enjoying all the wonderful comments from Elaine, so thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I do. Alright. Sorry, I got lost in the Hawaiian comments. Oh, let's go to Mira's comment here. "I'm having self-love chocolate today, which is the same chocolate as every other day, but without the inner critic." Oh, that's so beautiful. Alright, still scrolling down, looking for thank you, Elaine, I really appreciate it. There's Panchen. Let's all hold love, light, and support for Panchen, um, in their relationship with S. I also put, this deck on the table today as I was contemplating, higher frequency, kind of a romantic vibe. If anybody wants a reading with ethereal visions, let me know. Alright, so let's focus on Panchen and S. Best advice on how I should deal with S. Is S a partner? Is S a child, a parent? You feel comfortable letting us know? Um, that would be helpful. That was very, definitive cut. Okay, so we're starting with 10 of Pentacles. Mm, 10 of Pentacles. They belong. That's what I hear. They belong. There is a sense of inclusion, completeness. Um, so I would say that you want to include them in your life, not to isolate. This is a card of fulfillment, togetherness, integration, happiness. Let's get some clarifying cards on the table. Magician, beautiful magician card, and High Priestess. Okay, so um, very powerful archetypes on either side of this. And in no way do I want you to feel like these are cards to manipulate us to change or to manipulate us to be who they are not. But both of these cards speak to your power of connection, to inner your inner light and your connection with spirit. Both of these cards tell me that you know exactly, uh, how to move forward with this. They also support your ability to be completely aware of and there's a part of me that says, you can't really know the how this relationship will be until S is included in the scenario. So, with S at a distance, you can't, you can't know how this is going to develop. So it's important that you come together and you experience the fullness of life. And it's almost like these 2 archetypes on the outside are calling in, um, manifesting and creating. Okay, so here's another message for you. And I believe I said something similar to somebody else earlier today. Get very clear about where S fits in your life through meditation, visioning, journaling, writing a letter to the divine. There's different ways to find clarity and intention with a relationship. And so I feel like there's a bit of magic and power in this. And once you get clearer about how or what role or it's possible that S also isn't sure how they fit in your life. But I see this as an invitation to investigate that. Perhaps also there are questions. I feel like this card in the center is inviting you to ask lots of questions about family, about children, about relationships, about environment where you will live, and so forth. And these two powerful priestesses are empowering you to ask the difficult questions. Okay. Thank you, Pancha. All right. So I'm going to scroll down to Elaine while I shuffle. Elaine, do you want this deck or there's another? Let me know. I see you said I like the imagery of this deck, so perhaps we'll use this one. You're welcome, Pancha. All right. Life has been stagnant the past couple of years, and my question is, will there be growth and movement soon? I haven't worked or employed for a few years and I feel stuck. All right. Interesting that we've had these. So, what I'm this energy that I'm feeling is a responsibility to initiate change. And let's begin in one room in the home. Let's clear out the corners. Let's open the windows. Let's wash the windows. Let's, you move the furniture, you raise the frequency. And I say this when I hear this word stuck, I I often give this advice to clients. If you want change, you have to start to stir the pot. Change begins in different ways. You could get your hair cut. You could wear a type of garment you've never worn before. You could commit to a course or a class that you daren't have taken before. It's like you have to poke at the world and begin to find ways, creative ways. Your action is required. You are being asked to step up, right? So this is important. You need to show spirit that you know how to get unstuck, that you have the skills that are required. All right. So your question was will. All right. So I think this card is really supporting what I'm saying, that it is your responsibility. It is your responsibility to initiate change. You need to take the bull by the horns and do something. And it can be the smallest of something. Maybe there is something that's always bothered you in your neighborhood, or I don't know, maybe the supermarket that you go to every few days. This is about speaking up, confronting people, knowing that you have this spark, this ability to do something about it. You are Now, which of those figures in that picture are you? I kind of feel like, this is you over here. Look in the background. There is so much light. There is so much light. And I love that I don't know if it's a wheat field or what it is in the background, right? But that's the fire, that fiery color of you can also, add some spice to your life in other ways. Um, you can do some candle work. You can intentionally light a candle every day to invite fire, change into your life, initiating creativity, something like that. Two of Swords and the Moon. Wow. Okay. This is a very cool combination of cards. Both of the cards on either side of the fiery card are connected to lunar energy. And there is something about yourself that you are very close to revealing, releasing, and if you were to reveal this, release this, face this, let this go, then I think that would get the ball rolling. There is a decision that is required here for you to own this part of your process. This is a pattern that has been buried and suppressed for a long time, and now it's right there. It's right there, and all you have to do is say it, let it go, release it, commit to it. I think commitment is an important deciding to commit is what has been holding you back, and in allowing this next phase of your life to be in the forefront will influence everything else. Okay, I see there's a lot of conversation going on in the background here. Okay, I'm such a shy person until I get going. I think I get too passionate and tend to scare people. I don't know how to tone down my excitement. I've been lighting the candle for 2 days now. Okay, so great. So keep that energy going. Um, the piece about I get too passionate and tend to scare people. I get too passionate and tend to scare people. And I see you've kind of gone on to you're responding to something that I have also said. Okay, so also understanding that perhaps your passion and excitement is covering up something as well too. Okay. I was given a vision that shocked me. I've stayed silent about it. Okay. So go to your journal right now and start to write some of this stuff down. And no editing. Words flow. Let the words flow. Allow the words to come out, the thoughts to come out. Um, if you need to like go somewhere where you can also to, sometimes, I'm using like a recording button here, but you can also get the voice memo on your phone and turn that on and just speak because sometimes what comes out of your mouth needs to go like you need to speak faster than you can write. So that's also a way to manage this as well too. Okay. Thank you, Elaine, and, um, thank you for being so vulnerable here, and welcome. Welcome to my channel. Okay. Hmm. All right. Next up is Jonathan. You're welcome, Elaine. All right, let's put that one to the side. Hmm. I love the way you express that, Jonathan. I am a mother myself, so completely understanding from the inside. I completely understand too. I'm a mother of 4, and, I've been through a lot, so, yeah. My heart goes out to all of you, I know. Tremendous compassion. Reading for Jonathan on the 14th day of February, 2023. Looking into the frequency of love, elevating the frequency of love in Jonathan's environment, relationship, and the position. There's more words and reflections on each of the positions in the description box below if you're just joining in. And I think this is an important question to ask on this day. Um, as Donna said at the beginning of the chat, this is the favorite day of Mr. Hallmark and Mr. Whitman, and this is so much more than being in a love relationship. This is about a love for life, honoring of our connection with nature, with our experience as a human, and it's a very high frequency. It's a very high frequency, and if you Google the frequency of love, and there are so if you have Spotify, there are tracks where you can just play the frequency of love. There are, not songs, but instrumentals on YouTube as well too, and you can play that in the background. I would also suggest opening windows, moving energy. Um, you can raise the frequency, smudging and cleaning and clearing, and the use of bells and singing bowls, things like that, by eating cleanly. This is for Jonathan. Environment, 10 of Wands, relationship, the Magician, self, the Hanged Man. All right, so let's talk about the environment. So, 10s are about transition. 10s are about transition, and I want to think about the 10 of fire, the transitional energy of fire. Transitional energy of fire. You know, I'm looking at a combination, Jonathan, of the first and the third card, and perhaps an honoring of space. There's something also too about the central card being a solo figure, and I'm wondering if there is um, a a time in your week where you could be on your own to let go of the many hats and roles that you wear, and to honor and be with yourself and be with the parts of yourself who, um, you spend a lot of time working with others, and perhaps this is a reading saying, "Yeah, I need to block this off for 2 hours um, for 2 hours on Tuesday, for 2 hours on Tuesday," or is it mercredi? Maybe the magician wants to be on Wednesday. For 2 hours on Wednesday, I'm gonna do this for myself. For 2 hours on Wednesday, I am going to go and work with the I don't know, the magician in the next town who has always inspired me, and I've never had time or space for this. Um, Again, this is a reading where I my heart is bursting open here, like, my heart is so full, I almost feel like honestly, I feel like my heart could explode here. It's like you, um, you're at this place where in order to understand your next level of development, this, uh, this space is absolutely required. And so think of this too, Jonathan, as a discipline. Like there's a discipline, there's a practice that is required. And you know what this makes me think of, Jonathan, is that I one of my first, well, most significant teachers, I would I would often call her or I would message her on, Facebook to see if she was available for a session, and before she would see me, she would ask me, "Are you doing your practice?" And invariably, it was, "No, I'm not." And so she wouldn't see me until I had reestablished my practice. So I'm feeling like this is really important. So as far as the environment goes, this is a this is a shifting energy of delegating, creating space for you. As far as the relationship goes, the frequency of the relationship would also be heightened by this spark that is gained by you giving yourself this time and this space, by what you will grow into and learn and see in a different way, know how to use in a different way. There's something very practical about this as well too that feels important here. And when I look at that, Hanged Man card, I I laugh here, but I wonder if there is a yoga studio that does, with the silks and the not the trapeze work, but, um, it almost feels like that. Like you could actually go and hang upside down and maybe do trapeze work or, the yoga with the silks where they do the suspended stuff and they do the poses hanging upside down and stuff. Wouldn't that be fun? Because you are, um, so in touch with your body and aware of the and also, going through the COVID experience in the last 6 months as well too, this would also be very boosting to your immune system. re-energizing your lymphatic system by getting some sort of does it sound crazy? I think this would be really good. So, I don't feel like this is just about you carving out time at home and working on your magic at your desk, but this is actually about going out and finding a new way to vision the world. Okay, well, I hope this is inspiring, because all of this and my actually, in expressing this, my heart feels a lot lighter. So I think this is about you finding your own adventure just for you, because you deserve it, okay? Mm, that's really beautiful. Okay, no one else on the list. Okay. Well, I hope that, um, the readings today, whether they were for you or for others, you found a message or you found some words of wisdom that helps you to connect to an aspect of yourself that may have been neglected. And the frequency of love, ah, beautiful. 1111 blessings to you all. Make a wish. Invite the frequency of love into your life and all aspects of your life, in your environment, your relationship with all those in your life, all beings in your life, your relationship with the fae, your relationship with the plants, your relationship with animals as well as humans, and also, most importantly, the frequency of love in relationship with yourself. Much love to each and every one of you, and thank you to Donna. Namaste. God bless you.